Welcome back, crew, to beautiful Haulover Inlet and Boats versus Haulover. Remaining machines take on Mother Nature down here at Haulover Inlet in Miami, Florida. And today's going to be an interesting one. We got about a 15-mile-an-hour wind, 3 to 4 foot seas. Going to be interesting to see how our captains fare as they do battle with the inlet. And this, of course, is going to bring us to the first round of our competition. And here in the first round, the boats are going to go ahead and toss a pursuit in the ring to see if it can get them started off heading in the right direction. And here we go, round one. And our crew's working their way out, but man, that anchor up front looks a little loose. They wind up going up here and down they go, and down goes the anchor. This is a rough spot to be in. That anchor could easily puncture a hole in the hull of this boat. Now, I know there's going to be people in the comments saying, no, BG, that can't happen. I promise you, I have seen it happen, and those things can go wrong. This crew's going to have to slow her down and turn her back around, and unfortunately, they're going to wind up taking a loss for the boats here in the first round. And that's going to move us to the second round of our contest, with Haulover up 1-0. And here in the second round, the boats are going to go ahead and toss a Midnight Express in the ring to see if it can get them on the board. And our crew looks pretty solid. They've got the boat barely up on plane, and that's about the right running position for this boat. They're not full sending it out. They're not doing 70 miles an hour out the inlet today, but just enough to get the boat on that right running angle where it's just going to chop these waves up as it works its way out of the inlet. And as we can see here, this crew winds up having no troubles with it, and they're going to go ahead and take a win for the boats in the second round. And that'll bring us back to a 1-1 tie as we move into the third round of our contest. And here in the third round, the boats are going to toss one of those Haulover killers in the ring. That's right, the old Sun Tracker pontoon. So our crew's starting to work their way out toward the mouth of the inlet, kind of taking that slow roll approach. And here you can see they're bobbing pretty good. And I really don't recommend they try and go out today. It's kind of a rougher day, and it's just not going to end well for them. And Cap's leaving the helm. Why is Cap leaving the helm? He's left the helm and jumped into the water. What in the world is happening here? So his buddy goes over to the helm and takes over, but one, this should not be able to happen. As many of you know, currently right now, it is the law that most vessels, they have to be wearing a safety kill switch lanyard, which I'm assuming this captain should be wearing on this boat. And if he's jumped into the water and the boat's still rolling, that is just not the case, and he doesn't have one on. I have no clue why you would choose to jump into the water right here. The current's typically ripping, there's heavy traffic. This is just a horrible idea, and based on that fact alone, I'm going to go ahead and give this crew the loss here in the third round, because this is absolutely not something I recommend anybody does. But let me know your thoughts on this one in the comment. Am I going a little too harsh by giving them the loss here? Well, the loss is handed out though, and that's going to give Haulover the 2-1 edge as we move into the fourth round of our contest. And here in the fourth round, the boats are going to toss a Boston Whaler in the ring to see if it can get this one tied back up. But here we go, Whaler gang coming at you. Our crew's working their way toward the mouth of the inlet, boat up on plane. Pretty good running attitude, and one of the keys here, they're kind of hugging that north side of the inlet. Again, staying out of the middle, trying to stay into the calmer section where they can have a little easier ride. And right here, it looks like it winds up paying off for them, as they're easily going to make it into Haulover and wind up taking a win for the boats here in the fourth round. And that's going to bring us to the fifth and final round of our contest. We are now tied at 2 apiece. And here in the fifth round, the boats are going to toss an Outer Limits in the ring, try and go big or go home to see if they can close this one out with the victory. And here we go, our crew's got that throttle opened up as they approach the mouth of Haulover. Look pretty solid right now, but the crew takes a couple little bounces here. Man, they wind up plowing through a wave. That was a close one. I think we're going to have to go back to the replay on that one. I think they're okay, but we've got to double check to make sure. As you know, a stuffing would end it for this boat. So our crew approaches the wave. They get a little low in it, but it looks just like barely that bow stays above the water. As we take the second look here, they're going to be good to go and wind up taking a win for the boats here in the fifth round, and that means the boats are going to take the win in this episode. Thanks for watching, crew. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Boats vs. Haulover. If you did, please check out our other content. We have Wavy Boats, who does a bunch of great things down at the inlets. My channel, Broncos Guru, does some great comedy boating videos there as well. And of course, we've got the Miami Boat Ramps channel that focuses on all the hilarity that happens at the boat ramps in South Florida. And if you guys haven't already, go ahead and drop an anchor on the subscribe button here.